Hey kids, well, I hope you've had a really lovely Sunday, whatever it is that you've been doing. And hey, I hope you've been praying for miracles this week as well, like we talked about last Sunday. And if you do have anything that you want to pray for a miracle about, let us know. Get your parents to let us know. We would love to pray for you to see a miracle and a breakthrough in something that you are praying for. But I hope you're ready for our bedtime story this evening. So make sure you've got a blanket and you're comfy and you're cozy. I'm wearing a blanket today because it's got chilly, hasn't it? But that's exciting because it means it's leading up to Christmas, which I love, and I hope you love too. So let's get to reading our bedtime story today. I'm going to get it out of the box, and why don't you make sure you've got yourself nice and comfy. We're going to be reading today the garden, the curtain, and the cross. Now, I actually love this story. I think it's beautiful, so I hope you're ready to enjoy it too. Here we go. A very long time ago, right here in this world, there was a garden. In the garden, everything was wonderful. The world was full of laughing and playing and smiling and fun. Doesn't that sound good? And there was nothing bad ever. And there was no one sad ever. And best of all, God was there. He had made it all. He was in charge of it all, and he loved it all. Hello, Adam. Hello, Eve. People could see God and speak to God and just enjoy being with God. Eve, God's here. He wants to talk with us again. How cool is that? Yay! I bet it's going to be even more amazing than yesterday. It was wonderful to live with God. But then, one day, the people did a terrible thing. They decided that they didn't want to do what God said. They decided they wanted a world without God in charge. And God calls this sin. And sin spoils things. So sin has no place in God's wonderful garden. And God said to the people, "You can't live with me in my garden anymore." And he sent them outside. And to show the people that they had to stay outside, God put some warrior angels in front of the garden. And the angels were almost like a big keep out sign. Now things were sometimes bad, and people were now sometimes sad. But people still kept sinning because they didn't want God to be in charge. So no one could come into God's wonderful place. God said, because of your sin, you can't come in. God wanted people to remember that it is wonderful to live with him. But because of your sin, you can't come in. So he told the people to build a special building called his temple where he was going to live. And in the middle of the temple was the most wonderful place in the world because it was the place where God was, with nothing bad and nothing sad. It was very exciting. But then God told his people to put a big curtain around this wonderful place. And the curtain had pictures of warrior angels on it. Do you remember what was guarding the garden? It was a big keep out sign. And for hundreds of years, the temple curtain reminded people that God said that it is wonderful to live with him, but because of your sin, you can't come in. And babies became grown-ups and had babies, and those babies became grown-ups and had babies, and those babies became grown-ups and had babies. Look, it's a whole family tree. Hundreds of summers and winters passed by, and the keep out curtain stayed in the temple. It's a long time, isn't it? Then, one day, God the Son came to live in this world as a person, and he was called Jesus. And Jesus always did what God said. Jesus never sinned. And Jesus visited the temple where the keep out curtain was hung. Now Jesus knew that things were sometimes bad and things were sometimes sad. And Jesus said that God had sent him to open the way back into God's wonderful place, where there would be nothing bad and no one sad. But, it's a dark page, doesn't it? People still didn't want to let God be in charge, so they decided to put Jesus on a cross to die. And it was the most bad thing that had ever happened. It was the most sad day of all time. But Jesus had a plan. He had always planned to die on the cross. What a strange plan. Why would God's Son plan to die? On the cross, Jesus took our sin, all the bad things that we do and all the sad things that they cause. Jesus took them all from us. And when he did, something amazing, astonishing, and astounding happened. The curtain tore. God had ripped up the keep out sign. And God's wonderful place is now open again. Because Jesus died, we can go in. Isn't that amazing? After Jesus died, his friends put him in a tomb, and they were very sad. For 2 days, nothing happened. Then, the next morning, Jesus' friends went to see his body in the tomb, and it wasn't there. A little later on, Jesus' friends were all together, and suddenly, Jesus was there, and he was alive. Suddenly, his friends weren't sad. Now they were so happy. God had brought Jesus back to life so that he could live in God's wonderful place forever. And Jesus has sent everyone an invitation to come and live with him there too. Because he tells us, God says it is wonderful to live with him. Because of your sin, you can't come in though. But I died on the cross to take your sin, so all my friends can now come in. And we can live with God forever. There will be nothing bad and no one sad. Here's Jesus, and he's saying, come on in, friends. We will see God and speak to God and just enjoy being with God, just as he planned. It will be wonderful to live with him, and it's all because of Jesus. We will say every day, thank you, King Jesus. You're amazing. And you can start saying that today. Guys, wasn't that such a wonderful story from the beginning when God created the garden to when he sent Jesus, his son, for us? And you can know today, and I can know today, that we get to live with God forever because of what Jesus did for us on that cross. So I hope that encourages you today. And hey, maybe you're sitting at home and you've not really thought about getting to know Jesus or being in a relationship with Jesus. That's what we call when we say we want to give our life to him. Maybe you want to chat with a parent about doing that or taking that next step and asking them, Mum, Dad, what does it mean if I want to give my life to Jesus and I want to live with him forever? Well, I'm going to pray for you now for your week. Hey, so why don't you put your hands together and close your eyes just so we can concentrate on speaking to God, who did this wonderful thing and has let us live with him forever. Dear Jesus, we just want to thank you for what you did for us on the cross. Thank you that because you took our sin, all the bad and the sad things, it means we now get to live with you forever. And it also means we get to know you here on earth. So I pray for every child watching that they would know you as their best friend, Jesus, that they would know that you walk with them, that they can talk to you, you will help them, and you are there for them every single day. We love you, King Jesus. You are amazing. And we all say together, Amen. Hey kids, well, I hope you have a truly wonderful week and know that Jesus goes with you wherever you go this week.